Hello, love bugs, and welcome back or welcome to your new favorite show, Dear X, One Last Thing, where we say the quiet part out loud. If it's your first time tuning in, I'm so glad to have you here. Now, I can't go back in time and stop you from breaking that no contact with your ex, but you can stop your friends from the same fate when you share this show with them. Here on the podcast, listeners just like you send in everything they wish they could say to someone from their past. Every detail, every vulnerability, every secret, every insult, every crazy thing that went on behind the scenes. Dear X, One Last Thing gives you the ability to say goodbye and farewell to your past and to the people in it, and finally say hello to who you are without them. If this free therapy sounds like something you or a friend might need, be sure to send this to them or visit the link in bio for Linktree or the link for Linktree in the description below. Once you click it, the first link you'll see is to the anonymous Google form where you could send in a story of your own and hear it turn into an episode. And now, with all those customaries out of the way, we could finally dive into the reason you're really here, today's episode. Have you ever loved somebody so much, but it seems like the harder you love them, the harder they push you away? Like, you don't know what you're doing wrong, but it feels like you are doing something wrong. That is, you don't know what it is about you that makes them not as crazy in love the way that you are, but you could tell it's not the same. They say that they love you, but you feel like they're constantly annoyed with you. That's unfortunately what this sender experienced. Our sender was 17 years old when she met her ex, and they dated for a year. And she said when she first met him, she was immediately taken aback because he was so handsome and tall, and she was drawn to his laughter. Our sender is now 20 and ready to let go of the past that she shares with him. She met her ex just as friends, and they had known each other for a couple years. And then one day she invited him out for drinks. She notes how happy and excited he was just to sit and drink beers with her. She said that he did start out really kind, but over time, he let her know that he thought of her as too much, too clingy, and he wanted to be less with her than she wanted to be with him, and it caused them to fight a lot. She doesn't walk us through the relationship the way a typical sender into the show might, but she includes us in on memories that she shares with her ex to give us an understanding of what it felt like to be with him. She said, he started off the relationship with a lot of gifts and flowers, and of course their intimacy was good. But when she began to set any standards or kind of nitpick things, he completely changed on her. If she was unhappy with something, he didn't console her. If she told the truth, he didn't touch her. She felt like she couldn't say anything that bothered her because then he would act like he hated her, sometimes not even kissing her, showing her affection in front of his friends. In my humble opinion, this man was training her, conditioning her. If you know anything about Pavlov's dogs, the famous psychology study, he was training her, proving to her that if you want my love, you'll be quiet. And if you don't, if you break that, if you try to stand up for yourself, if you try to set boundaries for yourself, you're not going to receive love from me. So either you can be quiet and be happy with who I am, or you could speak up and then you basically will feel like you're not dating me at all. She says they were once at a party, and of course she wanted to stick near his side because she didn't really know a lot of people, but he continued to push her away anytime she wanted to talk or be included. And he said stuff like, go find new friends. Even though he knew that she wasn't comfortable doing that and meeting strangers, she said that this made her feel incredibly unloved and undervalued and misunderstood. He was actually the one to break up with her. And although she doesn't give us his reasoning as to why, she says days after the breakup, he calls her, crying, saying he wants to discuss it in person. When they get together, he starts crying in her arms and saying that he regrets the breakup. And of course, the whole time she's very confused because she never wanted to break up with him in the first place. He was the one that initiated it. He invited her to dinner that night, and it was her, his mother, and him. And I guess at one point during the dinner, they all just quietly stopped eating and started crying because they all knew it was for the best, but no one wanted to let go of each other. Our sender writes to her ex, Dear Casper, I still love you, and I still have good hope that you love me too. I miss when our bodies were close to each other and when you could read my face and see how I was feeling. It's weird how quiet it is after you left. The distance grew, but the lust and yearning for you only got stronger. I often think of you and what we had, and it felt so warm and safe to be around you. Even though you're not my boyfriend anymore, I carry the memories with me wherever I go. I would never be me without them. Memories come up when I hear a song or smell a smell or see a picture of you, and that's when my heart aches the worst. The miss for you is real and strong, and it will linger for a long time. I miss the times that I would call you Casper, my Casper. I love you, but you weren't nice to me. You yelled, you made me feel stupid and unimportant, and I cry thinking about the things that you said to me. If I was too much for you, then you should have a girlfriend who's less. I think that this sender has such an amazing heart and is so full of love. I want her to know that it will get better with time, and you will meet someone who values you and values your love. And when you're in that relationship with them, I'm not saying that this love you had with your ex was not real, but when you're in a relationship with someone who truly values you and values your sensitivity and values your company, you will look back at this relationship and think, I don't even know how I was in that. I don't even know how that felt like enough for me. I don't even know how I fell for a type of person who wanted me to shrink and didn't allow me to be my full self loudly. Honestly, in a world that is so superficial and full of, quick highs and chasing after quick dopamine hits, and is very obsessed with how things look from the outside looking in, finding someone who is so genuine and loyal and willing to hold you down and willing to be there for you and listen to you and just love you for who you are is so rare. And any man would be lucky to have that. And that's what you have. And carry yourself knowing that, carrying yourself thinking, any man would be lucky to have me. It's my pick of who I want. Think to yourself when you're going on dates, don't think, oh, are they going to like me, or what can I do to make them like me? Think, I hope I like them. But I think so often as women, we carry ourselves kind of in like this unsure matter on like, am I being too much? Am I going to say the wrong thing? Is this attractive? Is this not? How should I be? What should I change? And we're not so much focused on if they're a good partner for us. We're more focused on, would we be a good partner to them? And I think when you switch that mindset and you relax in who you are and you know that what's meant to be will be, and when you continue to be yourself, it'll connect you with people that are truly meant for you, everything kind of just starts shifting into place. So take your time, heal, cry at all the sad songs, watch all the breakup movies, eat ice cream for breakfast, do whatever it is you need to do. But when you are ready to step back out there, know that the world is yours. It's in the palm of your hand. Okay. I know today was a shorter episode. If you are visually watching this, you'll see that I have made some little changes to the background. The last episode just didn't feel like us. I looked at them and I was just like, this doesn't feel like our studio. This doesn't feel like our home. This doesn't feel as intimate as I want it to feel. So I'm experimenting, and I do really like the setup. I like how close I feel to you guys. And I think all that's next is decorating and making it fun and making it personal. I know I have been a little bit absent, a little bit MIA when it comes to posting, both on listening platforms and also on the social media. And though I have missed you guys, and I am very sorry for the lack of new content, stories, material, I am realizing that growth truly is never linear, will never be linear. It doesn't matter how healed you are or what you learn or the lessons you go through. You will always at one point fall on your butt and have to get back up and figure out how to push forward and move forward. And I think it's been important for me to learn that creativity and my best work, and honestly anyone's best work, comes from a place of fullness and comes from a place of giving, and not from a place of lack and fear and burnout. And learning how to be just someone in their 20s navigating adulthood while also learning who I am on screen. It's a lot to navigate, and it's fun, and I enjoy the road, but I think it's good to have these like standards we set for ourselves, but not at the cost of our inner peace. So I appreciate you and your patience and your grace, and this platform and you guys and having this podcast really recharges me and grounds me and centers me, and it's something that I love coming back to when everything else feels crazy. This feels steady and reliable and peaceful, and being shown that And it's, I think recently that's really been shown to me how important this really is to me in my life and my identity and who I am. I think when life is hard and you start to see everything that falls away that you thought was forever, and this is something that not only has not fallen away, but it's something that I've craved during the hardest times. So yeah, thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this short episode. I hope you send in a story of your own. I would love to hear from you. And so with that, I will talk to you next week. Love, your host, Mia Rose.